Galera, a gente vai estar acompanhando neste exato momento o top 1 da América do Norte e top 1 da Europa. Da Europa é o Godly e da América do Norte é o Markmo, beleza? Seguinte, se você é criador de conteúdo de Brawlhalla, você pode estar entrando no nosso servidor do Discord e entrar na minha org para criadores de conteúdo, mano. Eu vou estar junto aí com vocês nessa caminhada, beleza? É nóis. E também, se você quer receber aula, é só você se tornar membro no nível aluno do Lynx lá no canal principal, beleza? Bora ver a partida.
20 seconds.
E se inscreve no canal, vacilou.
That's super scary.
What's the edge guard? Goes for the ground pound.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that
Stage
was
spike.
a really telegraphed ground pound too. There's a gravity cancel down heavy. I really thought he was going to get punished for that ground pound.
Yeah.
Or at least like a weapon toss would come out from Marky Moo to like interrupt a little bit, at least put a hitbox out there.
Yeah, I didn't think Godly was going to get away with that ground pound the way that he did. Marky Moose still cleans up the stock though, down heavy.
Dude, the down heavy stock takes that we've seen this tournament, it feels like we've never seen so many. Despite having, like, compared to a regular tournament, like not that many sets. Oh, okay.
Okay, he's good.
Bro,
he's
you
good.
just let him get back like that?
Yep. Would rather have the stage control. He's got the lead, doesn't want to risk anything too big right now. Meanwhile, Marky Moo catching him with 2 side lights.
I almost feel like he's going a little bit use mode here, and Marky Moo's just stepping all over him.
Got him with the recovery. That should be it. Yeah, Godly gonna fall there. Didn't even go for the gravity cancel down sting. I don't think he had enough movement afterwards anyways.
Yeah, super weird pacing towards the end of that stock for Godly. He threw out like 2 separate neutral lights on the side that did nothing after. Even whiffing that into the ground, I doubt it was a bait. I probably wanted to just throw it over the corner.
Ooh, see, there's that up toss to kind of cover above him. Godly finally comes down. Can he get this stock?
I'll have to go back and watch old Marky Moo sets to see if he was doing that before. He certainly wasn't like earlier today. At least I feel like until we started noticing it. But I'll have to look back at old sets. Ooh, that exhausted recovery. I thought was going to get punished.
Look at him with the side air. He's got the weapon advantage. Marky Moo, though, has so much space that I'm actually a little surprised Godly managed to get over here and get that weapon spawn.
Yeah, even though they're both on final stock, it feels like Godly has been playing catch-up most of this game, and he's been, like, on the back foot. Okay, he's finally going to... Okay.
Stuffed out the recovery.
The attempt at the second ground pound there, but Marky Moo had a dodge. Yeah, see, like that.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I mean, it, like you said earlier, it could be just mental stack, right? Like, Godly had to worry about that weapon spawn up as well as Marky Moo. Weapon toss to open up. Neutral light, side air. Both of them in the red now. Who's going to get the final hit? That neutral sig's going to whiff.
Yeah, see, before he threw out, he did like the exact same double neutral light setup, but then he didn't throw out the side air after. He just did the 2 neutral lights and then nothing. Oh. Wow, okay.
Toss, and Marky Moo went underneath.
This is one of those things where like it's the
Bora lá, segunda partida. Fortress of Lions.
Okay, Godly did not swap.
Okay, sticking with the fate here for game number 2. Looks like it took him a little bit because we had plenty of time to talk about nothing, but now we're into game number 2. Orb starting off strong for Godly.
Yeah, I want to see some more Orb this game. And then based on how the Orb does, then if I were Godly, I would be potentially looking at making a swap over to Taros. Because if the workhorse Orb doesn't work for him like it is so far, Marky Moo went really low after that. He went for the gravity cancel down heavy just a little bit too early, but he went with the down heavy, still got the stock in the end, but he went with the down heavy for all of the active frames, which is why he ripped it so early.
Marky Moo with the big commit, went for that down air down there. Godly, though, he managed to get that stock, didn't take too much damage for it, so his Orb definitely being kind of that carry right now for him.
Oh my gosh, okay, yes. Now we're seeing return to form for Godly. He looks much more confident in this Orb gameplay.
Nice, good spacing there, got that side light, side air. Ooh, down sig, a little bit of a risky move there, locks you in place, and Marky Moo gonna ultimately get the KO because of it.
No juggling coming out from Marky Moo, just swapping over to the scythe, not the spear, as we've come to learn. Ooh, that's a big pickup.
Oh,
Chasing after.
Jump into it.
He almost got the hit with the weapon toss. He could have picked it back up. This is going to be weapon star for just a little bit. There's the recovery, giving Godly plenty of room. Weapon toss goes over his head.
Nice.
GC and Light again, opting basically in the exact same spot that he did the unarmed GC down heavy on the right side, opting for the active frame option.
That was such an interesting gravity cancel neutral light, just because, like, I don't know if, because he was holding onto the wall, I don't know if he let go immediately gravity cancel neutral light, or if he let his character slip till it wasn't on the wall.
Oh,
and then did
yeah, that's a good point.
Because he was, like, right on that bottom corner. Side light, side air. Down air, not gonna get him. Nice two-piece though.
Dude, that's so scary. Getting hit by that two-piece when you're this far behind against high-strength orb.
For sure. It adds up quick. Oh, Markimu's disarmed. Another edge guard opportunity,
okay.
But a good recovery from Markimu.
I think he was going in with the down air, but it didn't come out in time. Markimu was too ready for it. Another recovery, sending Godly all the way to the right side. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh, that was so close.
The rare down heavy not working out, and it's going to be Markimu with the gravity cancel down light. Final stock here, but Godly very healthy.
If Godly would have been flipped 180 degrees the other direction, he would have gotten the right swing at the right time of those legs to get the hit. He's going to be really careful here. There's the side air. Oh, that was enough to KO.
Yeah.
Just enough.
That's crazy. I don't know how you, because that's like, I swear that was like frame perfect.
Yeah.
Here we go. Game number 3 though. Godly tying things up. Ooh, no turnaround attempt there. I thought Godly was going to go for an air.
When there's another weapon spawn, is Godly going to move over onto the orb and opt for that right away?
Likely. You see him positioning for it, but instead it's enough to make Markimu swap.
Yeah, I think he's fine on Scythe, but like maybe if he has the option, we'll see when the next weapon spawn comes up. But yeah, Markimu wanted to make the immediate swap over. Or maybe he just wanted to deny Godly and didn't feel like he could swap things out and get his weapon back in time. Oh, okay. Recovery, same direction.
Ooh, neutral light catches him off the weapon bounce. He's
Nice!
swapping and Godly covers it, hits the down air.
Really smart to go for the down air there instead of like a ground pound, because obviously the ground pound goes straight in one direction, whereas like the diagonal can cover a lot of different places that Markimu might be, especially when you gravity cancel a move that has movement in it like it does.
I also like, because I feel like it's got more range. Like it puts the orb further away from you, so it's a little bit safer, especially because Markimu is going in with that gravity cancel neutral sig.
Yeah, you're going to catch a lot more, especially at that damage. You're going to get the KO no matter what. Nice string coming out from Godly.
Decent damage here. Markimu catches him. That was the dodge, and Markimu still got that recovery.
Dude, the low damage gauntlet nair pickup, I'm always scared what's coming after.
Yeah, especially when you're close to the stage, there's so many different follow-ups they can do.
Nice maneuver from Godly to get away.
Ooh, Markimu gets past the weapon toss, catches him with the neutral light. Godly back to the scythe.
This has mostly been a gauntlets game so far for Markimu. He started this one off side, but ever since he's made the change, they've been going much more even here.
Ooh, shotgun blast not going to hit, but the neutral light actually comes out quick enough. Another neutral light. This time leads to the side air. Not enough to KO, but the weapon toss might do it. Oh.
Nice.
Good coverage. Man, Godly's so good at recognizing, you know what, he's got one more option, and I'm going to cover it with his down air.
Yeah, his gameplay, especially this game, but also last game, but especially this game, has really been super smart. Ooh. Nice neutral signature after the end light from Markimu. Evening up the stocks here, going back over to the gauntlets.
Ooh, dare. Okay, Godly stays low this time. Where's that side air?
He completely disengaged after that. Did not want to deal with the weapon disadvantage over on the edge against Markimu.
Yeah, definitely not against gauntlets. You do not want to be off stage unarmed. Side light, side air. Backs up, hits the down air.
The like 3-piece potential from Godly, and then the potential extension to like 2 more hits after that without getting any hits on himself. It's like so scary. There's the double side airs. Setting up for the ground pound.
And he didn't.
Nice.
Markimu
Jogou muito.
Takes game number 3. All fate.
Yeah. I think he's locked into that.
2, 1,
yeah.
Okay.
I think he's locked into the fate and doesn't want to do the panic swap, have to start not from ground zero, but like, you know.
Yeah. All the reads that he had would be thrown out the window. Right now, Markimu looking solid with the gauntlets, though. That's what he swapped to, like you said, in game number 3, and his gauntlets were pretty much the main carry. Side light, side air, puts him off stage.
Godly only has 2 victories so far. He still has this set to finish and then 1 more against Sandstorm left in this round robin. So victory here would go a long way, at least setting up the game 5.
It's a side air weapon toss avoided by Godly with that gravity cancel. Got that side light side air as a result. Nobody's going to get the hit, and Godly with the falling side air after the whiff neutral sig.
Something that Godly hasn't really been able to find anymore on Scythe, or like the end light insig or the side light insig when he's using orb. Not that that was like necessarily the thing doing all of the work before for any of the Fate players today, but still, it's something that's just not in his toolkit anymore.
Went for a risky play there with that Scythe, went for that ground pound. Markemu was able to punish it and get that stock. But yeah, like you said, like Godly earlier today, he hit like 3 Scythe N6 and since then has not connected. Oh, Godly chose right, went low when Markemu read high.
Most of like the signatures period that he's been throwing out are just like gone. Like we saw the D-Sig like over on the right side of the stage. I think it was on a previous Miami Dome game. That's totally gone. He's not throwing the snipers out anymore.
Ooh, good spot dodge there from Godly to wake up into the gravity cancel side light.
Nice.
Man, he went for the down sig, Markemu with the weapon toss.
Like every single one of those he's been punished lately. So I don't blame him for just not going for it anymore. Unfortunately for him, that means he has to rely on other stuff. Oh, what was that side light?
He's got his pick of weapons.
Oh, that was so close.
What? The down heavy from Markemu. Dash onto the stage, down heavy. That's going to take out Godly. Godly's down to his final stock here.
Dude, what is it with the break dancing today? Okay. Typically, we see the D-Light or the gravity cancel neutral heavy. Like that's a very South American thing, as they're not afraid to go in unarmed instead of waiting for the weapon.
Springs for dancing. Neutral light, neutral air, recovery. Markemu getting some good damage built up. He is sweat beating. Godly with the stage control still. Ooh. 2 hitboxes, neither of them covered the stage.
Dude, I thought he was going to cover like a little bit more to the left side. So he had a little bit of overlap. Oh my gosh! He tried to steer away from it and you...
Simplesmente foi, mano. Jogou muito, relaxa. É isso, gente. Se inscreve no canal. Um grande beijo. Até o próximo vídeo. Tchau, tchau.